A Pooh Bear takes care of his tummy. He fills it with things that are sweet. A Pooh Bear takes care of his tummy by never forgetting to eat. When it is growly and gloomy, the search for the honey is on. The Pooh has a knack for finding a snack, unless all the honey is gone. A Pooh Bear takes care of his tummy, no need for my tummy to fret. A Pooh Bear takes care of his tummy, he knows what his tummy must get. Don't worry, my round little chummy, I'm hearing your ravenous plea. When there is no honey, the Pooh takes the tummy wherever the honey will be. My friends are all there with honey to spare, and they will take care of my tummy and me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Gootz's Disney Pod, and I'm Ray Gootz, I'm your host, and we are up to episode 51. We are in the year 2011. We're back with Winnie the Pooh, and I'm here with Mike Keegan. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, buddy. How are you? Thanks for having me, Gootz.
I'm hanging in there. Just so everybody knows, it is 8/20, August 20th, that's when we're recording this. Mike Keegan was just about to beat up the pizza guy on Facebook.
Yeah, I've had a big pizza saga going on.
Yeah, I know. The guy jumped in on. Last time I saw the guy jumped in, I was like, "Oh, you talk big, Mike Keegan, but I'll tell you, I'll fuck you up."
Yeah, and then he deleted it right away. So.
Oh, he did. Oh, so I caught it
Immediately before I even got to see it. I had to have people tell me that he did that.
Oh yeah. Well, he was saying that he'll just challenge you to a pizza fight. I don't know.
I will always fight.
So just so you know where we are in the world, this is going to come out in like 3 to 4 weeks. Right now, the governor of New York has banned fun. We're no longer allowed to have any. And I know, Egan, you have some strong thoughts on that. You had shows this weekend; they were canceled, correct?
I did. I snuck in a show last night. The show it was at a bar in Long Beach on Long Island, and the guy that owns the bar was in touch with his lawyer the whole time. The lawyer's like, you have to take the stage away, cut the show down to an hour, just in case the SLA comes, the State Liquor Authority. So we snuck that in, but I had a show that I was supposed to do tonight, and that completely got canceled. It was sold out already, and they shut it down on us because they're not allowed to have any kind of entertainment with where they sell tickets now.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing a secret show. I'll say it now because by the time this podcast comes out, I'll be in prison for doing this. I'm doing a secret show, and we were charging like a small cover just to guarantee that, so we could cut off at 15 people, right?
Yeah.
And I saw that yesterday. Luckily, somebody posted that article, and I said to my friend, we just got to make it free and just tell people to reserve on TicketWeb, but it's got to be free now. So
yeah,
they really are making it hard for us. And then, but meanwhile in Florida, I don't know, you don't follow wrestling, so you didn't see this. They're opening 500 seats to the AEW wrestling shows every Wednesday.
I didn't see that. That's unbelievable.
That's
crazy.
Way more dangerous than you and Carla Okerson doing 20 on a beach.
Exactly. First of all, that show is outdoors on the beach. Second of all, Governors, the Long Island Club, they took every precaution that the governor wanted them to take. They spent tons of money installing HEPA filters inside the building. They have the UV lights, the sanitation lights they installed. And then they were doing the shows outside. Everything was socially distanced. They were only selling tables in groups of 4, so you're only sitting with people in your family or your friends.
Yeah.
Socially distanced. There's plexiglass between the stage and the audience, and it's outdoors. And now they say you can't even do that. It's no matter what precautions you take, he's gonna say, "Oh no, we told you to do this, but you're wrong."
Did Dice do anything over the weekend? Because I had this idea maybe Dice did something and the neighbors complained, or he didn't do it.
Dice was there last weekend. I didn't hear about any complaints. I mean, there's no real neighbors where Governors is because it's in the back of a parking lot.
Because I walk there sometimes, and I'll walk by houses because I enter through the back of Governors when I walk there.
Yeah.
You don't think those houses can hear the shows or anything?
I don't think they can hear the show. If they can, maybe they did complain.
Yeah.
But I mean, every bar owner on Long Island that I know got that same letter.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I was at a bar last night, and they got the same exact letter. And this is just a small local bar by my house, so everybody got that letter from the governor.
And I'm sorry, like let's say Saratoga, because that's part of his jurisdiction. Can they have outdoor stuff, or are they also told to go fuck themselves over there?
As far as I know, it's statewide, so they won't be able to do any outdoor stuff.
Well, there goes my 4-person show that I do in Saratoga.
I know, man.
Have you ever done comedy out there?
I've never in Saratoga, no.
I did a bar show there. It was actually a really nice bar, but there was like 10 people there. But there were 10 good people. And really, in the age of Corona, that's all you need.
Hey, 10 good people is better than 50 shitty people.
Yeah, that's true. Mike, let's get the people to know you, because I'm a big fan of yours. Always have been. Mike, how long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up a little over 9 years now. It'll be 10 years in next May. So.
Okay, so you did stand up for 9 years, and in a year from now we'll all be working in the sugar mines. Okay, good.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm sending out resumes on Indeed. So.
What got you into stand-up?
I'm sorry?
What got you into stand-up comedy?
What got me into stand-up? I loved it when I was a little kid. My dad used to work nights, and he would come home at like 2 a.m, and I'd sneak downstairs and we'd watch like the old specials, like Bobby Collins, and we'd watch like stand-up Spotlight and stuff. So my dad always liked stand-up. I got into it, and then once I turned like 16, I lived 5 minutes up the road from Governor's, so I got to see all my favorite comedians there. Mm-hmm. So I always fell in love with it. Never knew like how to perform or how to get on stage at all. And then I saw that they have a class at Governor's, so I took the comedy class there after I got laid off from a job. And I took the comedy class there. And then when you graduate there, they put you on stage. They give you like a graduation show. So I had a bunch of my friends and kind of fell in love with it. And then I just started like hitting open mics and stuff and getting to know people.
I loved it as a kid. What year were you born, if you don't mind me asking?
1983.
Okay, so you're only 2 years younger than me. Do you remember on Saturday nights on Channel 5, because you grew up in this area, they had Comic Strip Live, a show? Yes. That's the show that got me into stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, mine too. I watched that. Mine was definitely like stand-up Spotlight, because I loved Bobby Collins. I always thought that he was the best, and it was definitely Evening at the Improv. Those shows definitely got me into it.
Yeah, because I was sorry, continue. Then I'll make that. Sorry.
I say that and then going to see it live, and then one time before I started comedy, before I took the class, I was in Ireland, and I was there for St. Patrick's Day with a bunch of my friends, and I was a little bit drunk at a bar, and people were getting on stage and singing songs. My friends made me get up there and like tell like dirty street jokes and stuff, and like, I got laughs. I'm like, this is awesome. I want to tell jokes on stage. So
that's fucking awesome. Here's the insane part. You might have to restart your career in Ireland at this rate.
I know. I might have to go to Ireland to ever tell a joke on stage again.
We might have to Mick Thomas Comedy Castle, and we'll all just perform there for him, because this is looking dire. Yeah, I was a weird kid. I on Saturday nights, I really didn't watch Saturday Night Live until like I was in my teens. I would watch Tales from the Dark Side on Saturday nights, or the Channel 5 comedy, like I said, stand up live. But that's why, like, I never really had a goal to be on Saturday Night Live. So many other comedians do, and that just
I was kind of the same way. I didn't really get into Saturday Night Live until I was more in like middle school and high school and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always watch Tales from the Dark Side too. It's funny you mentioned that. I love that.
Yeah,
show.
It was like Tales from the Dark Side. Then it would be like the Saturday fucked up horror movie.
Yeah.
Right after, but I loved that. I loved horror movies on Saturdays and stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
I would watch that over Saturday Night Live any day of the week. I don't give a fuck how many people Pete Davidson fucks. I'll still watch.
Exactly.
I'll still watch a good horror movie over Saturday Night Live. I don't give a shit. I could be on the cast. I'll be in the back watching the horror movie. But Mike, what like were you into cartoons as a kid besides stand up? Were you into like cartoons and animation?
I was definitely a big cartoon head.
Yeah, which ones were you into?
Definitely any of the Saturday morning cartoons I was super into. I was a big Garfield guy. I think that was kind of my thing. Garfield was my favorite.
That was great.
Heathcliff, Inspector Gadget was one of my favorites. And I was always super into Alf. That was my favorite show when I was a little kid. I have every episode on DVD.
I mean, I love it. I still have 2 Alf dolls here in my house.
Yeah. I have the Alf dolls, the real ones, and the ones that they had at Burger King. I remember Burger King.
Remember Alf had albums?
Yes. Yeah.
I got those at Burger King. Yeah, I got those albums. Dude, Alf, I still can't believe they approved that show.
I know. It would never get approved right now.
I mean, if you pitched half the shows that were on NBC back in the 80s, you would get thrown out of the meeting. They were just approving everything, and everything was a hit.
and you'd get laughed at. Even if you tried to promote Friends, if you tried to pitch that at a meeting, Friends wouldn't be able.
Golden Girls? You couldn't pitch Golden Girls nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. No, none of those amazing shows would ever get past today.
Yeah, no, but Alf is such a. I can't believe they've never tried to do a revival.
Yeah.
Or I heard they want to do a CGI movie version. I want to see Alf as a guy in a suit with a family.
I know. It was literally the Alf Christmas special was like my favorite movie, and
the guy's gonna commit suicide and Alf stops him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then probably maybe 10, 12 years ago, I was a security guard at a law school, and I was doing the overnight shifts. So there was nobody else in the building, and there was a law library there. But as I used to get, they had a portable DVD player that I could borrow. So every night I brought my Alf DVDs, and I would just spend my 8 to 12 hour shifts just watching Alf over and over.
Did you see? This was the craziest thing. They had Alf on one day. I had to get up early for a road gig, and they had Alf on MeTV. And there's an episode where he's imagining he's a stand-up comedian, and on stage is John Panette.
Oh, I don't remember that, really?
Yeah, and John Panette is doing the "You Go Now" bit. And I'm like, wait a minute. This guy did that bit for 30 fucking years? Like,
yeah, no, right, exactly.
I thought he just kind of came around like in the late 90s, early 2000s, but he was in the 80s screaming "You Go Now."
That's crazy. I didn't know that he was maybe that's what subliminally got me into stand-up. Maybe I did see that. And,
you're like, you're like, I have to murder this man and take his place.
Yeah, exactly. Let me feed him some pills so I could tell his joke.
Yeah, but I was like, he's doing "You Go Now" on Alf? That's fucking crazy. The bit is he's at a buffet and he's so fat that they're like, no more, you can eat. You go now.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was doing Alf. Were you into Disney as a kid?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was all things Disney. I was definitely into. And my like I said, my dad worked nights, so he would always watch me during the day. So we were always at the movies, all the new Disney movies that came out, and then that's what I would do at night. I'm an only child, so my parents would just throw Disney movies on, and
what were some of your favorites growing up?
Dumbo. Dumbo was my favorite.
Oh, Dumbo's the fucking best.
Yeah, it's probably it was probably the best. I was definitely a little bit older than a little kid, but Aladdin I was definitely into. Watch that. That's one of the ones I watched.
The video game was fucking amazing. That's what got me into the movie more than the movie.
Best video game of all time.
So good.
Yeah, that was the best video game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And were you into like Lion King? How about the Disney Afternoon? Were you into that shit?
Disney Afternoon I was definitely into. Lion King was another one. That was the one that was always on repeat at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what my parents did because my mom worked all day. She came home, so she wanted to rest a little bit. So just throw kids' cuisine in the microwave and throw Disney on for little chubby Mike.
I still eat kids' cuisine. Actually, I've been eating more of that since the pandemic started. It's like
yeah,
$2 meal. You can't go wrong. Fuck it.
Exactly.
What was I gonna say to you? And you were, I take it, knowing your sense of humor, you were in the South Park, The Simpsons, all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was heavily into South Park. Definitely a big Simpsons guy though, but South Park was always my big thing.
Okay. Well,
I had a Hartman necklace that I used to wear.
Oh yeah. Well, you probably were. I don't mean to, but when you were younger, did your friends call you Cartman or
my whole football team? Yes.
They did. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Yeah. Because you have a very Cartman sense of, you when everyone's being serious about something, you on Facebook, everyone's like, this is horrible. You'll make a status and you'll just shit on whatever everyone's like, crying over.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's my defense.
Well, it's funny. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you'll have 90 people arguing with you like you're serious. And you'll
I know, exactly. People are maniacs out there. So it is. I don't engage people, but when people engage me, then I lose my mind.
Yeah, I don't go there's a lot of people I disagree with on Facebook, and I don't go on their page to debate them. I'm just like, all right, it's your page. If you want to believe this, but then there's other people that just go on everyone's page to fight, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you about this.
Yeah, there's so many maniacs that I never ever hear from, except for when I post something political or a joke, and it's like. 10 million times I'll post comedy show flyers or I'm going to be here and I don't hear from those people. And then they always say they never see my post that I post for comedy. But every time I post something political, they're the first ones to be on
You know what? Next time you shit on Obama or something, you should then put. And don't forget, I'm gonna be at Chickle Factory next Friday, so they see the fucking flyer. Now you see the fucking flyer.
That's happened like yesterday or 2 days ago. I was promoting my podcast, and I posted like a picture of Bill Clinton getting a massage. So somebody that I went to high school with is like, blah blah blah, Bill Clinton, stop making fun of Bill Clinton, blah blah. And I just wrote, I'm like, oh, so you'll be listening then, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got something to say about Clinton.
Yeah. And then then they don't listen to my podcast. And I hate them.
I know, but they got time to look at your Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's like I'll be not so much I don't see anybody, but a comedian will look to me like, oh, I love you on Facebook, I love this, and I'll be like, why don't you hit like or something, dumb fuck?
Yeah,
like I'll post stuff and I'll be like, I guess no one liked this, and it's like it's weird the lurkers out there, so many lurkers.
Lurkers, exactly, that's what they are.
Yeah, lurkers.
Yeah.
So this movie came out in 2011. Mike, what were you up to in 2011? The summer of 2011.
The summer of 2011. Oh boy, you don't want to know. No, I was. It was 9 years ago. I was bartending. I was a bartender.
Wow.
In Freeport, New York,
okay.
And it was a good summer. I bartended. I didn't have a care in the world, and I drank a lot. I guess, yeah. So
that's good.
I was drinking and watching Winnie the Pooh. That's.
Was there ever a night in Freeport where you and the locals were like, let's go check out the midnight show in Winnie the Pooh right now?
No, yeah. Was there not a night where we did that?
This is I had never seen this until I started doing this podcast. Had you ever seen this movie before? I asked you to watch it.
This one I did not see before. I was always a big Winnie the Pooh guy.
Okay, so you were.
Myself a human version of Winnie the Pooh, but I never saw this one before. Where
nothing happens.
Nothing happens where Eeyore loses his tail. That's
yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Winnie the Pooh guy too. So when I saw, I think I saw the trailer for this before Thor, and I'm like, oh, if they're putting out a Winnie the Pooh movie in theaters, they must have a really good story. Like this must be something that's really gonna like resonate with people. Yeah. And then I saw it, and I was like, why the fuck do they think this should be in theaters? I don't understand. Like,
exactly.
Let's review what was out that summer. Captain America, Green Lantern, Thor. Did that final Harry Potter movie. The final fucking, I think the last Shrek. Yeah. And then Disney's like, we'll show you motherfuckers. Yeah. Here's Winnie the Pooh.
With nothing going on.
And then they wondered why it bombed because this did
Disney's like, you know what we'll do? All these blockbuster movies, we're gonna make an hour-and-a-half movie about a donkey's asshole.
Dude, it's not even an hour and a half. So less than I'm watching the movie, and I paused the bathroom because Jeff Paul gave me a call, and it said, "Yeah, you got to stop Disney when Jeff Paul calls." But,
the world's Jeff Paul calls you.
Oh yeah. He's the governor of Staten Island. He's the Cuomo of Staten Island.
Same nipple rings.
Yeah. So I had 18 minutes left, and I'm like, I wonder. I don't remember. I wonder what's gonna happen the next 18 minutes. I hit play. The movie stops. It's 17 minutes of fucking credits.
Yeah, I know. And I watched them all, and then I realized that there's an after credit scene too,
that was like the funniest thing in the movie, the after credits.
Which is awesome. Yeah, exactly.
The rest of the movie was like, what the fuck?
Exactly. I took a pause when I was watching it for something, and I saw that there was like 22 minutes left, and then 2 minutes later, the credits roll. I'm like, this is gonna be 20 minutes of credits. This is wild.
Yeah, because the movie's not even 58 minutes long. It's 57 minutes.
Yeah.
Without credits. I guess it's 58 if you count the after credits scene. But it's like, why the fuck did you put this out in theaters and charge full price in 2011?
Yeah, exactly. Why did you put that in theaters when you realize we ran out of movies? We're gonna run 20 minutes of credits, and then the best part of the movie is after the credits.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is for like little kids, but like, I feel like once you get the little kids settled, the movie fucking ends.
Yeah, I know,
and then you got to put on something else with a little kid because it's so short.
Yeah, it is short. I did enjoy it. It always pisses me off. Some of the characters, though, the owl. I fucking hate Owl.
Oh, I didn't like the new voice of the owl. The new voice. Yeah,
I know. I despise Owl. He's the most useless piece of garbage. If you see, there's one point. First of all, he's so pretentious. You know what? First of all, let's talk about the overlying issue of illiteracy in 100 Acre Woods.
Okay.
I mean, that's what that's what brings this whole thing on, is that they can't read this message that Christopher Robin writes that says he'll be back soon. They think it says Baxon, and then Owl's like, oh, a Baxon, that's this terrible, terrible monster. I know all about him. No, he's a liar. He's pretentious, and he lies to people to try to be smart, because he's one of those guys that has to be the smartest friggin' guy in the room. But meanwhile, he's just a fucking flying rat.
Yeah, he's a fucking pile of shit. Yeah.
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 The scene that pissed me off the most about him, though, is they set a trap for the Baxon where they're gonna fall into a pit. The monster was supposed to fall into a pit. They end up all falling in the pit. Owl falls in the pit, and they're like, "Oh, how do we get out of here? He can fly. Why can't he fly out of the pit and get some help?"
Oh yeah, that's right. He just stays in the pit.
Yeah, that bothered me so much. I'm sitting here seething with anger watching Winnie the Pooh. I'm like, this is what I do now during COVID.
This is what I do now. Well, you do it for comedy. I mean, we can't do comedy, so we watch Winnie the Pooh.
So I watch Winnie the Pooh, and then the only character that has integrity in the whole thing is Piglet, and it's up to him to find help. No, Owl, fly out of the thing, and it's.
Well, also I gotta say, Christopher Robinson, his parents are kind of fucking stupid, because this kid's got to be like 8 or 9, and he spells gone Gon, and then be back he just spells it Bizy. It's like, are you illiterate? Do you have like a learning disability?
That's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
And he has rich parents.
He has an apartment in a tree in the woods. He's doing better than I am.
Yeah, it's apparent he goes to private school with his stupid costume he has on.
Yeah, exactly. His parents have money, exactly.
Oh, and,
we can address that Winnie the Pooh definitely has diabetes.
With all the honey he's eating, yes.
All the honey he's eating, the rumbling in the stomach, and then he hallucinates at one point that everything's a honey jar. That's low blood sugar of type 2 diabetes.
I agree, yeah.
The next Winnie the Pooh is going to be their search for Winnie the Pooh's prosthetic because they had to amputate his foot.
and then like the movie an E-Horse tail. Did it the owl? The owl took the fucking tail too.
I knew it at the beginning because it was all planned because he's a conniving swindler piece of garbage. I knew that he took the tail because he was always the one talking about, oh, let's have a contest. There's going to be a reward. He wanted the reward. He ended up taking the tail. I hate the owl. It's all his fault.
The owl is like the Cuomo of 100 Acre Woods.
He is the Cuomo of the 100 Acre Woods. Exactly. It all starts with him. The whole spiraling out.
Oh man, it's so funny. If you really think about it, there's not too much you could do with the Winnie the Pooh characters because they're very wholesome. So you can't have I don't know, Piglet become a cocaine addict or.
Yeah. Well, I think Tigger's on cocaine.
I think Tigger's on cocaine. But there's so much media with these characters. But I think this movie is probably the most boring thing they've ever made with these characters.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely goes nowhere and has a lame payoff at the end.
Yeah, and it feels like a throwback in a bad way. Like it feels like it's like a 70s movie that they made in 2011.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, I'm sorry. Say what you're gonna say.
I don't like when they do the remakes of the Back to Garfield. The new Garfield's 3D, and I don't like because I missed the nostalgia of it. So I'm glad that they kept the nostalgia, the same graphics in this in 2011.
Yeah.
But it also seems like they're kind of shitting on our childhood. We'll just throw anything at them.
Yeah. Well, I think and it's just such a weird movie. I just wondered why they thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, and you made the best point though. Is when it was released. It was released with Captain America and all these blockbuster movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, no, let's just throw this pile of garbage that we worked on. Worked on that's less than an hour long.
And we'll charge full price. And these parents, once you get settled in, finally get the kids settled in the theater, and then the movie ends.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so fucking weird. This is a weird movie though for me personally. I'll tell you my story about it. My mom collected all these movies, which is kind of why I started this podcast because my mom would still buy them. So last summer I said, "Oh, I only have 10 to buy, and then I'll have every single Disney animated film." So I just went on Amazon and bought the 10.
Yeah.
But the day I bought this movie, I bought this and Captain America at Best Buy, and I got a phone call that day that Patrice O'Neil had passed away in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
So this movie always reminds me of Patrice O'Neil.
Yeah, wow.
Because I have it in my hand, and it's like, yeah, Patrice died, and
That's
and
wild.
I was like, I hope he saw Winnie the Pooh before he died.
Yeah, exactly. I hope this isn't the last thing that he saw.
Well, it'd just be a shame if he missed Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
He missed Avengers.
He saw it before he died, but I hope he saw something a little bit better before he died. Maybe Captain America, and then he got on the plane.
He saw Captain America, then shot himself. No, he died because he. I gotta tell you, the last time I saw him, he died. He had a stroke like a couple of days after I saw him. He had like 3 things of chicken wings, 2 things of the onion rings, the giant onion rings, and strawberry daiquiris, 4 or 5. Like once he finished strawberry daiquiri, he would get another one, and he was performing on stage in a giant fur coat.
Oh wow! Oh my God, that's wild.
And he would go past the light, so it's like then you wonder like why he passed the way he passed. You know?
I know exactly. I mean, with unmanaged diabetes and everything, and eating and drinking like that,
and it's a shame because I think right now he'd be the biggest name in comedy.
The commentary he would have on the things that are going on in this country, that might be what brings all of us together. You know, that might have been what, together. Yeah, that might have been because you know what he didn't give a shit about either side really, and he would just he was a genius at pointing out the obvious that's right in front of you that you don't see.
Yeah, I think he'd be bigger than Chappelle. I think he'd be bigger than Chris Rock. I think he would have sold at the Garden by now. He was on his way.
Yeah, definitely.
He went because he was finally selling out the weekends at Caroline's, and he was on top of he had a bit about Schwarzenegger. I can't remember now, but he had just wrote it that weekend because that's when Schwarzenegger got caught cheating.
Okay. Oh God, yeah.
And he said, "Why wouldn't you? If you were a famous person, of course you fuck the ugliest bitch because she's gonna keep her mouth shut."
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, he had the one bit about he was talking about that Natalie Holloway that disappeared in Aruba. He's like, "What was that white girl that disappeared in Aruba?" Everyone's like, "Natalie Holloway," and then he's like, "Yeah, what was that Spanish girl that disappeared that he was with also?" And nobody knew the name. He's like, "Exactly. You only remember the name of the white girl that disappeared."
Yeah, he would. It's such a shame. Like that's why like last year I started working out because it's like this guy was doing everything right, but he had 19 strawberry daiquiris.
Yeah, exactly.
And that did him in, not cancel culture, not fucking anything else.
Strawberry daiquiris did him in.
Yeah. And Winnie the Pooh.
And Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh was like, I'm tired of your shit. I don't give a fuck.
Winnie the Pooh drove him to drink strawberry daiquiris.
Yeah.
He's like, because I knew that fucking owl had the tail the whole goddamn time. Fucking pretentious cocksucking owl.
Fucking. Did you ever watch the Saturday morning cartoon version of Winnie the Pooh? It used to be at 8 in the morning on Channel 7.
Yeah, definitely.
That one kind of had like, that one was the only thing with Pooh that had like kind of like an edge.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, it wasn't an edge, but they would like kind of argue.
For kids getting up at 8 in the morning and having, Cheerios watching it, it had a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I always feel like the 8 a.m. cartoons were like the most calm. Like the 11 a.m. cartoons where they had like where people be getting shot. And those are like the bad kids cartoon, but the 8 a.m. cartoons were like for the like the really innocent kids who like grew up sheltered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like it'd be Winnie the Pooh.
Yep, I was totally into it. I was so into it that my middle name is Christopher. I used to tell my friends that my parents named me Christopher after Christopher Robin.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I tried to impress.
Cool. I still have it actually. My mom, when she was working in Manhattan, back when Manhattan existed.
That place?
Manhattan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's done. That's gone.
That used to be a place.
That used to be. Dude, it's so funny how fast Manhattan. I was talking about this with Lloyd Palmentary last week in the podcast, actually 3 days ago, but for let's say last week. We were talking about how like I just think Manhattan's kind of done.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's so much life outside of Manhattan, and like I think you put it on Facebook how Astoria, Long Island City. There's so much life outside of Manhattan that has great nightlife, and now there's just so much wrong with Manhattan. I mean, why bother?
Well, like even like like if the big thing is, and everyone's like, it's going to come back. People want to go out to eat in Manhattan, and people want to see Broadway shows. I'm like, yeah, well, that's fucking great. But the real thing that kept Manhattan going, the real reason why I had customers on my show was everyone worked in Manhattan. Everyone.
Yeah.
And if all of these offices go to working at home, so let's say you work in Manhattan every day. Now you work at home. You have a house in Long Island. You work at home in Long Island at your office job. At night, if you want to see a comedian, if you live in Levittown, for example, where would you go? Would you drive into the fucking city and go to Broadway Comedy Club, see people you don't know, or would you go to Governor's or Brokerage?
Exactly. There's no reason to go into the city. There's life outside now. There's life on the outskirts in Long Island, Astoria, Long Island City. You know, there's without having to take a train into the city and get an Uber to Caroline's or Broadway Comedy Club or
and deal with the homeless crackheads now.
Yeah, exactly, and that's even more rampant here.
Yeah, and I think people, like there's a number of people. Like I remember so many headliner nights on Thursday, people would be running out and being like, towards the end, like I got to catch the LIR. So many customers would leave 5 to 10 minutes early to catch the LIR because these are all people that would come after work. If they're not working in Manhattan anymore, they're gonna wait to see their favorite comedian either on the island or somewhere else.
Exactly, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's gone.
Yeah, there's comedians at pizzerias in Farmingdale. So.
Well, I mean, you can't. That kind of killed Manhattan in and of itself.
Yeah.
I remember when Bill Burr. I think the last conversation they had with Bill Burr was they were like, "Hey, listen, we want to book you at the Garden when things go back to normal." And Bill Burr was like, "Listen, there's a pizzeria in Farmingdale that offered me free slices." And I'm sticking with them. And they're like, really, Bill Burr? And he was like, don't lose my fucking number, right?
Don't lose the number. I only need one person.
I only need the Farmingdale Pizzeria. Who the fuck are you guys?
That's all I need in my Rolodex now.
That's all they fucking need. Fuck all these. Oh, man. I feel like this podcast is now officially longer than the Winnie the Pooh movie that we're talking about. This was a weird, the reason why I picked you, I had Dennis Rooney do the 1977 Winnie the Pooh film.
Okay.
And he was great. And I said, let me stick with the Long Island motif from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. And I thought of you, Keegs.
Yeah, Long Island's a Winnie the Pooh hotbed.
But when I got to this movie, I was like, yeah, Rooney definitely had more to work with than Mike Keegan. This movie's so fucking short.
It's such a short movie, and there's not much going on. It's just, it takes you on like a ride from, we're looking for his tail, and now we're looking for this giant monster that doesn't even exist. And I think it's just the fact that they're quite illiterate in this 100-acre woods. I think that's what gets them into all their trouble.
I think the lesson of this movie is that they need to find Chris Robbins a private school.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not learning shit. There's one fact I want to talk to you about with this movie, because this was actually interesting. This was the first movie Jennifer Lee worked on. She helped with the music. And when the movie was done, Disney said to her, hey, listen, we like the songs you wrote for this movie. Can you look at this script we're working on? It's this movie called Frozen. We don't really know where we're going to go with it. And that's when she came up with Let It Go. And now history.
I didn't realize that. And when I was watching the movie, Carla's got a little 5-year-old daughter that loves Frozen. She's so into Frozen. And the songs kind of reminded me of that. And I was like,
did the little 5-year-old watch Winnie the Pooh with you?
No, she didn't watch it. She's at school right now.
Okay.
So I told Carla, I'm like, let her stay home and watch Winnie the Pooh with me. She makes her go to school. I watched it alone in my parents' basement.
Okay.
But
it would be funny if she was home and she's like, I'm not watching this shit, and just walked out.
That's what I want to do. I'm going to show it to her tonight. When I'm with her tonight, I'm going to show her the movie because she's going to love it. And that's what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, she's going to love these songs that are in the movie. The songs were definitely the best part of the movie. The
songs were good, and it's funny. So, in a way, this movie kind of really helped Disney because they met this woman, and now she's the head of the studio.
Okay, yeah.
Because John Lasseter apparently, raped everyone. They didn't rape him; he grabbed him. They got to get rid of him. And by the way, I'm watching to get ready because I'm also going to do Pixar movies. I'm watching special features. I'm watching him in 1995. Dude, he makes Harvey Weinstein look like Tom Cruise. How they did not know this guy was grabbing women.
I know, right?
In the office. This guy is, he's a fucking genius because he changed animation.
Yeah.
You got to give him. He's the guy who directed Toy Story 1, the head of Pixar.
So we might actually be able to say, though, this may be the most important Disney film of all time, 2011, Winnie the Pooh, because that bridged the gate to Frozen.
Yeah, because originally Elsa's supposed to be just the pure villain in the original script.
Yeah, it made Disney what it is today, the 2011 Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, because Frozen fucking... I mean, they already basically ruled the world, but somehow they ruled even more the world.
Frozen just took them, that made them just above and beyond what they could ever...
But basically, Frozen made sure that they can ensure 15 pandemics.
Yeah, I hated Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 is a piece of shit. Holy shit, I feel like I was watching an episode of Star Trek or something.
Yeah, I know.
They're talking about, like, the shit. Like, there's so much backstory in that movie. And I'm like, kids are going to follow this fucking backstory. This is like...
I know, like, I went to the movies. It was actually the daycare that Carla's daughter goes to. They had a field trip to the movie theater to see Frozen 2. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm completely lost. I don't know how these 20 understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it's like an episode of Next Generation. I remember sometimes when I was a kid, I put on Next Generation, and they're talking about the engine coolant system or something on the fucking ship.
I know, exactly.
And my dad would be like, who the fuck is this for? Because, like, I knew kids in my school that like Next Generation. I'm like, I don't know. I don't like this shit. If I'm going to learn that much about a fake ship, I might as well just go in my garage and have my dad teach me how to fix a fucking car.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the same with Frozen 2. It's like, you know, the parents went on this ship, but the other ship was this way. And 15 years ago, they fought with her, and the grandfather was a dig. What does this have to do with the fucking sisters?
Exactly. I know.
I did like the song "Lost in the Woods," though. That was good.
"Lost in the Woods" is a great song. I loved it. That was the reason I'm like, oh, I have to have Juliana watch this with me tonight. So, you know, it was enjoyable, but it seemed like it was kind of phoned in the whole movie.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was kind of like why Walt Disney never did sequels, because he would always be like, well, where am I going to go with Cinderella or like Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
And this kind of felt like this is the reason why they never did sequels, because where can you go with this story?
Yeah. And it just really put a spotlight on what a piece of shit the fucking owl is.
What, Frozen 2?
No. So this.
Winnie the Pooh. Well, also Frozen 2. I think the owl had something to do with.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Yeah. I think the
sure
owl is a piece of shit.
Also,
What happened?
I think the owl is Jewish.
I think he is. And you can't trust a rabbit either. I don't like rabbit that much.
Yeah, he's an instigator.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like, he's not, I don't know about that 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in 100 Acre Woods that we should dig into.
Do you think they shut down because of COVID?
No, they're still going. They're
like
no
Florida?
Social distancing. Fucking Rue's still in the pouch.
Piglets like we gotta keep living our lives, going to the strip clubs.
Fucking rabbits running around. All lives matter. All lives matter.
Fucking Ehor's got a Blue Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a petition for Tigger to change his name. Listen, can you not? You know what that sounds like, right, buddy?
Drop the hard R at the end, please. Please be Tigger.
Tigger. I think there's a rapper called Tigger. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
But, yeah.
So all in all, I guess I kind of like this movie. I'm just very confused by it. I'm just very like, why did you make this?
Yeah, exactly. Why did you make this? Why did you release it in movie theaters at that time? It was enjoyable, and I think the 5-year-old is going to enjoy it tonight. I'm going to show it to her. So I watched it and I enjoyed it, but it was kind of predictable. I hate the owl, and we realized that it built a bridge to the Disney empire with Frozen 2.
With Frozen 1, and then Frozen 2,
yeah.
and inevitably Frozen 3, and then I mean they eventually got to turn Elsa gay, so everybody on Twitter will be happy.
Elsa's going to be a gay black.
She's gonna become a transvestite.
Yeah, exactly.
Transgender. So
gay black post-op transvestite.
Dude, every time now I log on, like the modern day cartoon fans, like I'll go to Twitter and they all want every cartoon character to turn gay or to be. I'm like, can cartoon characters be cartoon characters? I did not give a shit if He-Man was fucking or not.
I know. That's the last thing we were thinking about. They're sexualizing kids at such a young age.
Yeah, like Steven, like they made She-Ra gay. Did you see the new She-Ra cartoon?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep.
She-Ra's gay now. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. It's just they want Elsa to be gay.
Yeah,
they want.
I mean, I never thought of them being straight or gay as a straight person, but just let them be.
Yeah, this is okay. So when I was a little kid, like I'm talking like 3 years old, I wanted Barbies and I wanted Rainbow Bright and I wanted Strawberry Shortcake toys, and I got them. I fucking got them.
Yeah.
And now I didn't want them because I secretly was hoping that I could get some cock in my ass. I wanted them because I was a fucking brat, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. What do you mean only girls can get those toys? No.
You're exactly right. I know. I was the same way. My next door neighbors were 3 girls, and they had all the Barbie stuff, and I used to play Barbies and shit with them. I had a Strawberry Shortcake sleeping bag, because that's what I wanted.
Strawberry Shortcake's awesome. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just how kids are. And then the other thing I did, I remember forget like a couple of times, my mom would have her heels. I grew up in this house. She would have her heels right over here, just laid out so she could just put them on when she went to work. And one day I said, I want to see how those feel because it's weird to me that and I put them on. I walked around the house and I did it like 2 or 3 times. I guarantee you, in 2020, if I did that, my parents would be like, "You must be transgender."
Yeah, they're gonna send you to some transgender camp where you have to open up your mind, and they're gonna cut your penis off. Nah, I just wanted to walk around with these cool spiked shoes.
I just want to see how it felt. Even like when I was a clown, I was a clown with Halloween, and my mom put on lipstick, and I thought it was gonna taste like candy because that's what I thought. I'm fucking 4 years old, so I was like, "Oh wow, lipstick." And I was like, "Oh, this is horrible. Why the fuck would you wear lipstick?" I go, "Mom, how can you wear this shit?"
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to like to shove entire carrots up my ass. But I didn't do it because I was gay. I just thought it because, you know what? There's carrots here. What am I,
Listen, hey, when Hugh Daniel Murray was a kid, he used to blow goats, but he just wanted to see how it tasted. He was like, this is delicious.
Exactly. It's not because he was a beastophile.
Yeah.
No, it's because, you just do what you want to do.
Kids like to try shit. But like kids are curious. It doesn't mean... Because you don't know, you were like a speck in the universe. You were like a part of a star, and then your parents fuck without a condom, and you're dragged here to deal with Twitter trolls and Cuomo shutting down everything, and Florida killing everyone, and you got to deal with no one booking you, even though Kevin James said you're funny. It's really so you want to experiment. You want to like, oh, what's this? What's that? You just want to figure what shit's out.
You're 100% right. Don't label kids until they label themselves.
And I think you can't really... I don't think you can tell... People said, oh, I knew when I was 4 or 5. But I don't think you can tell like what you want to fuck till you're like 12, 13.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everyone should just fuck up. No, I'm joking. But I'm just...
yeah, exactly. Now I'm 36, and I'm done with only fucking one thing. I'll just fuck anything.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I still don't know what I want to fuck.
Now I just know I want everything.
Yeah, but I think once you hit puberty, then you can make a decision on like how you want to dress or what you want to stick your dick into or all that shit. I think before then, I don't think your brain cells can determine what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I know, absolutely. That's what I feel.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad we solved that. So now
I'm glad we solved that from watching Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so I'm glad we can go to these kids and beat it out of them.
Pervert Winnie the Pooh just wears a top and no bottom.
Well, Winnie the Pooh wants it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely a horny son of a bitch.
He's gay, definitely. No, I mean, I don't know. You never know who Rue's dad is. The father of Rue's. Does the father ever show up in anything?
I don't think I've ever seen the father for Rue. No, it's a single mother situation.
He just took off.
I don't think she knows who the father is.
Oh, I think there was an orgy one night, 100 acres.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we should do is like a Maury of who's Rue's real father.
Oh man, and then it turns out to be fucking Bambi's dad because he was kind of an absentee. He's just going around fucking things.
Yeah, exactly. That is Littlefoot and.
I want to ask you about this because Dennis Rooney had never seen this, which blew my mind. Did you remember back in like 1990? It was 1990, 1991. Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue.
No, I don't think so.
You don't remember this? It's
No.
on YouTube. It was a special. It was on one Saturday morning. And it's, listen to this cast. Slimer, the Ninja Turtles, the Huey, Dewey, Louie, Alf, Winnie the Pooh, I think Scooby-Doo, Garfield.
Really?
Yeah, oh shit, I'm forgetting some people now that were like, I think the Tiny Toons, maybe Bugs Bunny. Basically, it was like every cartoon character imaginable, and they're trying to get this kid to stop smoking weed. And there's
Really?
this,
Don't
yeah,
remember. That was a one-time episode.
one-time episodes called Cartoon. I was freaking out. I thought every kid. I was like screaming in the school for like a week about this fucking thing. I was like, all the cartoon characters. It was like the Cartoon Avengers.
Really? I don't remember that. My life might have been totally different if I had seen that.
Hold on, let me. I'm gonna name the characters right now. I'm gonna pull it up. Dude, there's one scene where Winnie the Pooh is like trying to pull the weed away from this kid, and the kid like shoves Winnie the Pooh. It's like, I gotta keep smoking weed. Get out of here, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Okay, Alf, Alvin, Simon, Theodore, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Garfield, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, from the Muppet Babies, Kermit, Piggy, and Gonzo, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Slimer, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, Fat Smurf, and Michelangelo.
Are you serious?
Swear to God,
Dude, I'm absolutely gonna watch that.
you gotta watch it. I
Take the weed and smoke it himself, and then
Yeah,
pour a piece of ice cream on it.
Winnie the Alf is like, stop smoking weed. I think this chipmunk sing a song about how, I love how weed was like the bad thing. That really should have been more about PCP or something. Like weed is like,
Yeah, exactly.
should have been like, don't.
You're all gonna smoke weed, and you're probably gonna watch this after you smoke a joint, also.
Yeah, it is definitely better if you smoke a joint.
How crazy is an anti-marijuana thing is so much more enjoyable if you're on marijuana.
Yeah, you're on marijuana. But I remember I was like screaming about it all weekend in the school. Like, you don't understand. This is like the Avengers with cartoon characters.
That's so crazy.
It was fucking awesome. Mike, where can people find you on social media besides Facebook, where you punch the pizza guy to death every day?
You can also find me on Instagram, Mike CJ Keegs. Mike CJ Keegs, and you can find my podcast, Domestic Disturbance Podcast. That's on Facebook, and we have our Instagram page as well.
You don't have a Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. I never really use it. Let me see if
I don't like. I feel like you would excel at Twitter, but I'm like, I don't really like Twitter.
I use it. You know what? It just annoys me because I see like so many people go viral on Twitter, and I hashtag things and I post things that I think are great, and it never gets any engagements on Twitter.
I kind of feel like you're like me. Like, you like to I think you excel on Facebook because you like to talk. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like you make a point. I feel like Twitter is the end of discourse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of think it's lazy.
Yeah, it's like, people argue about politics on Twitter, but like you can only argue 160 characters. What point are you really making? I think that's kind of why we're so fucking stupid as a society now.
Exactly. Everything just gets chopped up and chopped up and chopped up until you're all you're doing is sharing memes with each other.
Yeah, you're like arguing like major points in a political administration using one sentence, and it's like these issues are so complicated. They do need a paragraph to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah,
that's why we'll be dead soon.
Exactly. But yeah, it also is Mike CJ Keegs on Twitter, but I don't really use it. I'm an Instagram, Facebook guy.
Okay, yeah, me too. I'm the same way. Guys, if you just tune in, if this is your first time listening to the podcast because you like Winnie the Pooh, or Mike Keegan, or the Pizza Guy, or the Gyro Lady, I don't know, take your pick. I have done a podcast every week. I started with Snow White from 1939, and now we're up to 2011. Next week is Wreck-It Ralph with Adam Nutter from Pennsylvania. Do you know him?
I don't know. No, I don't know him.
He ran a great room in PA. It was this awesome bar. It was like a nerd bar. It was amazing. Yeah, and I headlined there in January. Got paid really well. The crowd was fucking awesome, and now it's probably gone forever. But if he ever comes back, you should headline that.
Yeah. That's in China. We have to wait for our governor to give us free money.
Well, actually, I think he might be back. I think PA that they're allowing people to have fun. So.
Yeah, no, I did a show in PA not too long ago.
Oh, good. So yeah. But if you should definitely do that room. It's an amazing. They have action figures all over the bar. There's comic book posters in the bathroom.
Oh, I love that.
They have a Disney room, and they have a Minnie Mouse. No, they have a Maleficent bathroom.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool. But yeah, but that's next week. So if you enjoyed the podcast, we have a whole archive. Any Disney movie that you could think of, we've covered with an amazing comedian. Please subscribe to the podcast, Gootz of Disney Pod. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Gootz of Disney Pod. And just follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, Ray Gootz. And that's this week. Mike Keegan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Ray Gootz.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
It's a pleasure having you. And Winnie the Pooh, fuck you for killing Patrice O'Neil.
Exactly.
We'll see you next week, guys.